Have you ever stood face to face with something so wild, so untamed, that your instincts screamed run?
Rampaging out in the hall, up on the 6th floor, and I think they have even their owner cannot control them.
Nature doesn't flinch, not for money, not for fame. And when its fury is unleashed, not even the spotlight can save you. These famous people were hunted, mauled, and killed by the very beasts we pretend to admire from afar. This is the terrifying truth behind famous people who were deadly attacked by animals. Nicknamed the Wolf Lady, Patricia Wyman was a passionate 24-year-old wildlife biologist whose life work was understanding wolves. Her skills brought her to Ontario's Haliburton Forest Wolf Centre, where she cared for captive gray wolves and led public education. Though uneasy around the dominant alpha, she pressed on, determined to bond with the pack. On April 18, 1996, only days into her dream job, Wyman entered the 15-acre wolf enclosure alone. In a brutal turn, 5 wolves attacked, stripping her of clothing and life, her ravaged body so badly mauled it took 6 officers to retrieve her from the bloodied ground. Her death, one of North America's rare fatal wolf attacks, ignited fierce debates about wildlife safety and human-animal boundaries. The wolves were later euthanized, but Wyman's legacy endures, both inspiration and a haunting reminder of nature's raw, unpredictable power. Born on August 1, 1893, Alexander I emerged from the political maelstrom of Greece, a reluctant monarch thrust onto a throne more fragile than his own resolve. Crowned on June 11, 1917, forced abdication, he was confined to his palace, a puppet to Prime Minister Venizelos, navigating the aftermath of World War I with little power, but a sense of duty pressed upon him by exile and circumstance. During his brief, turbulent reign, Greece expanded its frontiers, from Smyrna to Thrace, its borders redrawn by the victories of its armies and the treaties of a new Europe. In a defiant act of the heart, Alexander married Aspasia Manos, a commoner, igniting scandal and forcing them into temporary exile. Yet even as he supported Greece's military campaigns, he carried the crown in trust for his banished family, a monarch in name but not in command. On October 2, 1920, fate intervened in the most improbable form. A Barbary macaque's bite, suffered while protecting his dog at Tatoi Palace. Infection set in, and after weeks of agony, Alexander died on October 25th, just 27 years old. His sudden, strange death unraveled the fragile threads of Greece's political fabric, setting in motion a crisis that would see his father restored and the nation's destiny forever altered by a single tragic encounter. A phantom of athletic fury, Diane Whipple carved her destiny across lacrosse fields and Olympic tracks, a 2-time All-American whose body was a weapon of pure, untamed potential. Raised by grandparents who nurtured her volcanic spirit, She conquered NCAA championships and twice donned the U.S. Women's Lacrosse World Cup jersey, breathing Olympic air mere seconds from immortality. At St. Mary's College, she transformed raw talent into a fierce, united team, her coaching a dark alchemy of inspiration and relentless passion. Her final marathon, just a week before her death, whispered of an unbroken spirit, while her life with partner Sharon Smith stood as a defiant testament to love unbound. On January 26, 2001, two monstrous Presa Canario dogs, 140 and 100 pounds of primal violence, shattered the quiet of her San Francisco hallway.
Rampaging out in the hall, up on the 6th floor, and I think they have even their owner cannot control them. They are huge. Please hurry, I hear screaming, and I don't dare open the door. These dogs are ferocious.
77 wounds later, Diane's death became a razor's edge of justice, her partner's fierce resolve igniting a legal revolution that rewrote California's laws on domestic partnership and dangerous dogs, ensuring that love and safety would no longer be casualties of tragedy. Born Timothy William Dexter, a champion springboard diver turned wilderness mystic, he clawed his way out of near-fatal heroin addiction and into a raw communion with Alaska's grizzly bears. For 13 summers, he danced on the razor's edge of Katmai National Park, founding grizzly people and transforming himself from a broken performer into a self-styled bear guardian, capturing nearly 100 hours of untamed wilderness on film.
I gotta think he was over 10 feet high, don't you? Oh, he's a big bear. He's a big bear. A very big bear. Wow.
Rejecting traditional research, Treadwell wove himself into the brutal tapestry of the wild, naming bears, touching cubs, and defying every wildlife protocol with a messianic belief in his connection to these apex predators. His eccentric spirit and media appearances made him a lightning rod for controversy, as he chronicled a life lived at the very precipice of nature's indifference. On October 5, 2003, that precipice claimed him. A 1,000-pound grizzly, hungry and relentless, tore through Treadwell and his girlfriend Amy Huguenard in the Grizzly Maze, their desperate final moments captured in a haunting, never-released audio recording. Their partially consumed remains became Werner Herzog's chilling testament to the perilous boundary between devotion and delusion, a story forever echoing the wild's cold, indifferent truth. At 18, Cleopatra VII stepped from Alexandria's shadows, a Macedonian queen whose intellect was as formidable as any weapon. Fluent in many tongues, she became the first of her dynasty to speak the language of her people, embracing Egyptian culture and presenting herself as a living goddess. Legends whisper that she experimented with poisons and pursued the secrets of medicine, ever the scholar as well as the sovereign.
It is time to present you to the people.
The people already know me. They can present the boy.
I know it's tedious, but it is tradition. And people find comfort in traditions.
It's time for some new traditions.
Her political genius drew Julius Caesar and Mark Antony into her orbit, forging alliances that shaped the fate of empires. Through intrigue and resilience, she reclaimed her throne, restored Egypt's fortunes, and steered her kingdom through famine, civil war, and the relentless shadow of Rome.
Your Isis greets you. I pity enemies of Egypt. I pity them more when Egypt and Rome are united.
In 30 BC, as Octavian's legions closed in, Cleopatra chose death on her own terms, her final act shrouded in myth. Found in her mausoleum beside two loyal attendants, she is said to have died by the bite of an asp, a defiant gesture echoing her lifelong refusal to be conquered. With her passing, the Ptolemaic dynasty vanished, but her legend endures, a queen whose brilliance and audacity still haunt the corridors of history. From 6-year-old snake wrangler to global crocodile hunter, Steve Irwin was a wilderness incarnate. Born into a family of naturalists, he grew up in the beating heart of Birwa Reptile Park, where childhood meant rescuing lizards from roads and wrestling crocodiles by age 9, his life already entwined with danger and devotion. Irwin's khaki-clad passion and thunderous crikey carried him from the wilds of Queensland to the screens of over 100 countries, captivating hundreds of millions with his fearless encounters and boundless enthusiasm. Under his reign, Australia Zoo became a living kingdom, expanding with the Crocoseum and Tiger Temple, while his mother's legacy of wildlife rehabilitation inspired his own crusade for conservation.
Have a look at this little blighter. Crikey, he's as fat as mud. These water holes are just crawling with wildlife. There's yabbies and fish biting at me, which is perfect for these little freshies.
On September 4th, 2006, at Bat Reef, a stingray's barb pierced his heart, a fatal moment captured but never shown. Steve Irwin died as he lived, dancing with the wild, his final breath a testament to a life without boundaries, a global conservationist whose legend endures in every creature he sought to save. Ever since a childhood trip to Orlando, Dawn Brancheau was destined for the impossible, a siren who would dance with titans of the deep. Forged by a fierce spirit and sharpened by degrees in psychology and animal behavior, she became SeaWorld's radiant priestess, commanding 12,000 pounds of raw primal muscle with nothing but will, wonder, and an unbreakable bond. Her body, carved by marathons and relentless discipline, was steel-forged in compassion, rescuing broken creatures between performances that electrified millions. The youngest of 6, she was more than a trainer. She was a translator between worlds, weaving herself into the very mythology of the sea, naming orcas as her children, and breathing life into every splash and breath. On February 24, 2010, the ocean claimed its sacrifice. Tilikum, a colossal leviathan, ancient rage simmering beneath his sleek skin, shattered the fragile boundary between human hope and wild brutality. What began as a routine show became a savage poem of loss. Her body, the final line written in a story of connection, risk, and the unforgiving wild. Dawn Brancheau's death was not just an end. It was a haunting testament to a life lived at the razor's edge of love and danger, forever echoing in the depths she so fiercely embraced. Dr. Richard K. Root, a titan in infectious disease medicine, chaired top departments at Yale, UCSF, and Washington, and shaped America's early HIV/AIDS response as a leading NIH committee director. After losing his first wife and enduring depression, the beloved Teacher of the Year found a new purpose: training African health workers in HIV care. On March 19, 2006, in Botswana's Tuli Nature Reserve, horror struck. A 15-foot Nile crocodile lunged from the Limpopo River, snatching the 69-year-old doctor from his canoe as his wife watched in terror. The reptile dragged him under within seconds. His partially devoured remains surfaced 4 days later.
Kentwood Mayor Richard Root was laid to rest today.
We carried the moving service live on WXSP and WoodTV.com. 24-hour News 8's Joe LaFurgey was there.
The unprecedented attack in waters once deemed safe sent shockwaves through the medical world, recasting a healer's mission as a cautionary tale, a haunting reminder of nature's merciless disregard for human purpose or compassion. No amount of fame, fortune, or security could shield these luminaries from nature's merciless wrath. Their final, blood-soaked moments shattered the illusion of human dominance, stark reminders that beneath our veneer of civilization, we remain vulnerable prey. When the fangs pierce and claws tear, celebrity status crumbles to dust. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more chilling real-life stories like these, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Countless more chilling tales lurk in the shadows, waiting to remind you how thin the veil truly is.